The Folk Tales of the Mountain Backdu. Hello. Today I am going to tell of the story of the battle between the Backdu goddess and the Hell god. A long, long time ago, the god of Mountain Backdu was a goddess. As the beautiful Backdu goddess had a good heart and an affable mind, people had an endlessly harmonious and happy day. But there was a guy who was going to trample on such a peaceful age. He was the very god of hell. The hell god blew off the lava from the 10 million feet deep underground to the mountain Backdu and burned the whole world. However, the hell god, who was unsatisfying, had made the mountain Backdu into an ice mountain by having an illicit union with the ice god. Quivering with indignation, the Backdu goddess vowed that she would surely avenge the vicious atrocities of the hell god. The Backdu goddess, who was determined to have brave and wise children to regain the beautiful mountain Backdu, prayed to the heavenly god to hold her child. Really, 3 months and 10 days later, there was a womb. The Backdu goddess conceived and was delivered of 7 baby boys at once only 3 years and 3 months later. While raising the fetus, the Backdu goddess took precious medicines such as ginseng, fungus of the genus Foams, and herb of eternal youth. Maybe that's why her breasts were big and had abundant milk uncommonly, so the 7 brothers were enough to eat. The children grew up well without sickness. Even if it was cold, they did not feel the cold, and even if it was hot, they did not feel the heat. They were growing up immaculately. No one could overwhelm their courage and strength. When the children grew up full, the Backdu goddess had sat 7 brothers down in the presence of her and said to them,
"Today, first of all, I'm going to give you your names. The firstborn is Il-seung. The second, E-seung. The third, Sam-seung. The fourth, Sar-seung. The fifth, O-seung. The sixth, Yuk-seung. And the 7th is Chilseongbong. Because you are the sons of the heavenly God, I wrote the letter seung, which means the star, in your names. I gave birth to you to overthrow the god of hell. You are not too young, so go out into the world respectively and have a good teacher and learn one talent by one. When you, my sons, get back, we will overthrow our enemy, the hell god, and we will plan the eternal stability of the mountain Backdu."
The 7 brothers, who had a heavy request from their mother, packed their traveler's equipment and went learning in his own direction each. The teachers taught the sons of the Backdu goddess with their heart and soul enthusiastically. The 7 brothers of the mountain Backdu had learned greatly the excellent talents of their teachers with their extraordinary qualities and intelligent wisdom. Each teacher of the 7 brothers was impressed by the excellence of his own disciple, and they married their jade daughters to them. After learning the talent, the 7 brothers took their wives and left for their mother. The day they left was the same day, and the day they came to see their mother also was the same day, whether they were helped by the heavens. It was when Il-seung grabbed his wife's wrist and climbed onto a hill. Unexpectedly, a beautiful woman appeared in the presence of them. She said with all her charms,
"Son of the holy Backdu goddess, why do you want to go back to the ice-covered iceberg? From here to the northwest, there is a great kingdom. There, the king is now looking for a valiant and wise secretary. If you go there, you will possess the king's favor exclusively and enjoy wealth and prosperity from generation to generation. I am an envoy sent by the king to escort you, so please don't refuse.
Il-sung seemed to be a little shaken up. The king's envoy only talked like honey.
You have nothing to worry about your mother and brothers. We will invite your mother and be crowned her the queen of our country and attend your brothers as secretaries. Please think 3 times and do not abandon the paradise world.
When Il-sung heard this, he was hesitant and he did not know what to do because that was welcome proposal to him. But his wife came forward and enlightened him.
Oh, my dear husband, you are the son that has been asked by your mother, so I think it is right to meet your mother first and then answer that envoy.
The king's envoy stood in the way of them.
You should take this great chance. Life is fleeting.
Oh, my dear husband, anyone who is going to perform a great task should cover their ears to the wind rumors on the road.
Il-sung heard his wife's words and moved to his homeland. The king's envoy gave a snort to them and vanished out of their sight like the wind. The 7 brothers appeared in front of their mother in a same day. Their mother extremely rejoiced at her 7 sons coming back of that they had learned their talents and brought their modest wives. Il-sung told his mother the story of meeting a bewitching girl in front of his younger brothers and their wives. Everyone laughed and laughed, holding in their arms, and said that they had also experienced it.
It's all the wiles of the hell god. The girl you met must be a witch.
The 7 brothers were wide-eyed by their mother's awakening. No one thought that the girl would be a witch sent by the hell god.
Which way do you want to go? Will you take the way the witch led you? Or will you avenge all grudge that I bear against the hell god with displaying your strength and valor?
7 brothers and their wives bowed to their mother and spoke loudly in one voice. We will honor the descendants of the Backdu.
Ha ha ha!
Their mother laughed extremely delightful. The 7 brothers were tightly ready to fight and went to fight against the hell god under the leadership of Il-sung. And their 7 wives also followed their husbands. The Backdu goddess stopped her daughter-in-laws from going out to that battlefield. But the 7 female warriors stabilized their mother-in-law.
Oh, mother, they will fight better if we follow them. We all learned the martial arts and wisdom, too.
When they arrived in the approach of the Chilseongbong peak of the mountain Backdu, suddenly a gust of wind swirled in the wild and deserted mountains, and pumpkin-like stones filled the sky and flew in like dust. Il-sung and his wife came forward and blocked the flying stones with their shields. When they both looked at the place where the wind was blowing, there were white monsters whiles between the Yeongbong peak and the Chilseongbong peak. Il-sung couple fled their brothers' couples to a safe place and spread their wings hidden in their armor and flew high up in the sky. Il-sung yelled to the monster,
Hey, monster! If you have the guts, take my sword.
The monster also flew in the sky. The monster swung a long iron ball and rushed toward the couple. The couple both attacked with their swords at the monster from the left and right. The clashing sound of a pair of swords and a bundle of iron ball vibrated the sky and the earth, and the sparkling flame was like a flock of stars. The monster that was fighting in the heat of the fight was struck on the top of its own head by a pair of swords and bleeding out red blood in a rush and fell on the ice of the mountain Backdu. At the moment, The ice mountains poured down like a landslide and tried to swallow the sons and the daughter-in-laws of the Backdu goddess at a breath. At this time, Chilseong and his wife came forward and spewed out a deep blue light with 2 pairs of eyes. The light turned the ice mountains into water, which are approaching them like lava boiling with 10 million degrees of heat. As the ice melted in a moment, the river began to flow, bumping into each other like a raging sea. The waves howled with great intensity as if they were going to get caught up in 7 brothers soon. At this time, Chilseong couple went out to the very spot and picked up a black whip and struck it with a bang. The water, which ran wildly and was on the rampage, could not overflow anymore and flowed slowly along the river. As the 7 brothers clasped each other and shouted triumphantly, the sky turned black, and a lot of monsters covered them with blandishing their deep red tongues. The Backdu goddess's sons and daughter-in-laws fought against the monsters in unison. They each blandished 1,000 silvery swords. It was like that 14 silvery moons were having a frolic with a dark cloud. The heads of monsters were cut off and poured down like hailstone. By the way, the monsters that were cut off their heads did not die, but when one fell, it became 2, and they leaped and raged even more terribly. With the swords, they could not simply fight off the monsters. Just in time, Chilseong couple sprang up into the Geun-young, which means 9 directions of the heaven, and split a cloud heap into the cross style and sent them to the east, west, south, and north. The fierce lights of the sun illuminated the monsters. The monsters stretched out their legs and fell to the ground successively as if they had been taken a blow on the top of the head by a club at a stroke. After that fierce battle, the 7 brothers finally won a great victory. They came to their mother with the great joy of victory. The mother gave a banquet, celebrated their victory, and gave a great wedding feast for the 7 brothers. At the end of the feast, Chilseong and Chilseong couples, who had not made the distinguished service in the fight, said to their mother and brothers, "We will be outside for a while and come back soon." But they did not come back. About 1 hour had passed. As Chilseong couple came out to the garden to look for them, the strange landscape appeared. There was a fertile field, and the 5 kinds of grain were ripening in that field. At the place where the fields end, a meadow was unfolding, and there the flocks of fleshy livestock were going to and back. From a distance, Chilseong couple came running with their hands in theirs and said, laughing,
"It's a small gift from us."
Neither the brothers nor the Backdu goddess were able to keep their mouths shut about that wonderful gift. They were in the height of joy. Then there was a fresh smell of rosin coming from somewhere. When they looked at it, the desolate mountain Backdu and fields were turned into a dense jungle. Chilseong couple, who had picked flowers in the dark jungle, were coming side by side to them with a bunch of flowers in their arms. The hell god, who heard the news that Mountain Backdu was transformed, could not bear it. In order to destroy the beautiful and rich Backdu mountain, he raked in men and horses, and leading them under his own command, went out to every side of the mountain Backdu to spray the poison on those places. As the water and weeds were dried up and the animals fell down, a great disaster occurred. Everyone is embarrassed, but Chilseong couple said confidently,
"Mother, brothers, you need not to be in worry. Here is this 7th,
Chilseong couple took out the red paper bag of medicine and the blue paper bag of medicine, released those medicines in the water, and they drank that water vigorously and flew high up to the sky. And turning each section, each exhaled the medicine water with mouth toward the north, south, east, and west. Then they came home with a bright smile. After a while the forests, grasses, and grains that had been damaged became fresh again, and the beasts that had been lying down and writhing in pain were shaking their bodies loose and getting up and walking. On the other hand, the drugged monsters twisted their necks right away and died, and there was the hell god in them. After that, the mountain Backdu was prosperous again without disaster. How many years have passed? In the wide and wide forest of the mountain Backdu, a pair of peaks have emerged like a breast, and 7 small peaks have emerged around them. People thought that a pair of peaks like a breast was the breast of the Backdu goddess and named it the Nadusan Mountain. And they regarded that the water flowing at the foot of that mountain was the milk of Backdu goddess and named it the Nadua stream. The 7 mountain peaks around the Nadusan mountain were called Chilseongbong Peak, which were said to be the tombs of the 7 sons of the Backdu goddess.